Hey guys, it's Dad with Dad's Guide to Adulting. I hope you're doing well and that you're having a great day. In this video, we're going to continue talking about estate planning and talking about the sorts of documents that young adults should have in place to prepare for the day when they're going to die. Unhappy subject, obviously, but it's an important one to handle correctly. In particular, in this video, we're going to be talking about a letter to your executor, and we'll talk about three things. Number one, we'll talk about why you should put this letter together. Number two, what it should contain. And number three, where you should store it for safekeeping. So let's talk about number one. Why would you want to do this? Why is it a good idea for young adults? Well, first off, your will not necessarily explain everything that your executor needs to know. You may also not have a will, and so there needs to be some sort of written document for your executor or administrator that explains basic information about what you own and where it is and how to find it. Putting that together in an organized fashion will make it much easier for the person who has to handle your estate. They don't have to do a lot of digging and research. It's all spelled out for them. It's a considerate thing to do, but it can also help make sure that no assets like bank accounts are missed because they didn't know about it. Second thing, what should you include in the letter? Well, first off, general categories. Who to notify in the event you die and how to contact them. You will obviously want your friends and family to be notified. You may want to have a posting put on your social media accounts, in which case you need to leave the passwords for your executor. You may have an accountant or an attorney to help you with your tax returns or your financial affairs. They need to be notified. You need to leave contact information for them. Your employer and your job so that they are aware of it as well. Information about your life insurance company. If you have a life insurance policy, where can the executor go to get those proceeds? And also, you may want an announcement to be done in the local newspaper or a professional publication if you're in a certain industry. So that's the first part, the notifications in the event that you pass away. You may also want to include funeral instructions, where you would like to be buried. Do you want to be cremated or buried in a coffin? Who should be the readers at your service? Where should the service be held? Are you an organ donor? A lot of those basic pieces of information can be included in the letter as well. You also want to spell out estate matters, location of your wills, if you have one, other important documents. Where can they be found? Where are the passwords to your computers and phones so they can access those devices? You will want to leave them a financial summary document. In our finances videos, we talk about how to prepare a net worth statement that lists all your accounts, and you should include that basic information in your letter to your executor. You are also going to want to include financial account information. Where are your accounts held? Are they at banks, investment companies? Where's your IRA? Where's your 401k? You're going to want to have account numbers and the login passwords so that the executor can access that information. You're going to want to include things like your insurance policies, your retirement accounts, your credit cards, your mortgage, auto loans, student loans, any account that you have, whether it's an asset or a debit, meaning it's something you own or it's something you owe, should be listed there. In addition, if you have minor children, you're going to want to include the same information for their accounts. Work matters. If you have any documents or supplies at home that need to be returned to your employer, put that in there as well. So those are the kinds of things that you're going to want to include in your letter to your executor. Obviously, it depends on your particular circumstances, but the basic goal is to provide that person with an overview of everything you own and how they can access it so they can take care of your affairs. Third thing is the document. How do you store the document and where should you keep it for safekeeping? Well, obviously a document like this is going to have a lot of personal information on it. It's a boon for people who are involved in identity theft or fraud, and so you don't want to keep that kind of document where it can be easily accessed. It shouldn't be stored on your computer. You can have the shell of the document on your computer, but without all the passwords and information, fill that in separately. Best idea is to keep that in a safe deposit box in a bank, or to keep it in a safe in your home that's fireproof, waterproof, and that's also protected with the security system or other measures. So that's a good way to keep the documents safe from prying eyes. So that's the letter to the executor. Even if you don't have a will as a young adult, it's a good idea to put that in place. We'll see you next time. Until then, remember, you got this.